Hey there, this is Andrea with the ADS Agency, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, personal branders, or otherwise working in your own personal career and working on your own personal brand. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. Today is Father's Day, and I thought we'd do a little twist. I know it's not Tuesday, which is when we normally air. However, this is a great day to make an exception. And for Mother's Day, we talked about what moms can teach us about marketing. Today, I'd like to talk about what dads can teach us about business. And so I've got 8 great tips here for you about what my own dad taught me about business. Tell me about what your dad has taught you. Great business lessons and life lessons otherwise that are applicable. I'd love to hear about them. So let's dig right in. Quick background on my dad. He is a forester, agricultural expert, agribusiness expert. He wouldn't call himself an expert, but he really is, honestly, seriously. So he teaches at Tuskegee, so he's a professor there, and he also pastors a small rural church, Wayman Chapel AME in Union Springs, Alabama. If you ever have a reason to go anywhere near there within 30 minutes, please stop by and say hello. And so in any case, he has a lot to teach about business, and I could go on, I could probably write a book about it. However, I picked 8 things to share with you today, and I can't wait to go through these with you. So, number 1, do not be quick to hire employees. So when I told him I was starting the ADS agency, that was pretty much one of the first things he ever said to me was, do not be quick to hire employees. And that has boded well for me so far. I do partner contract with people, but I've not hired anyone. Could definitely see where I could do that, but I do see the value in what he said in not hiring employees. He used to work with the Forest Service, which is the reason why we moved so much. People used to ask if we were military, which is asking why we moved between South Carolina, Georgia, Florida so much growing up. It was really because he was in the Forest Service, and he used to tell us that managing people is a lot like babysitting. So he said, rule number 1, try not to hire employees, especially right out the gate if you can. And also that's gonna save you on your overhead costs as well. So in the beginning, you're bootstrapping it. Do yourself a favor and do as much as you can without having to hire employees for as long as you can. First, number 1. The second thing he said is to, and this is so much my dad, and this probably rings true for a lot of dads. His second point is save your money. Save your money. He would say that all the time. I'm doing this video right now because he can't stand when we spend money on him. And so he says, don't buy me anything, make me something. So when we were little, of course, that means like make him a card or, make him some little gift you create in an art class in school or whatever, but we're grown now. So this is the first opportunity where I thought I could make him something, which is this video. It's free for me to make. So I hope you appreciate this effort, Dad. This is a free thing. It costs me nothing. So save your money. But seriously, for business, obviously that has clear ramifications as well. Saving your money as a business owner, or even as a career professional, don't blow it all, don't spend it all, don't go crazy getting the most expensive website and all that out of the gate. I know I'm in marketing and branding, but it's true. I made my own website against some people's better judgment. They were like, get yourself a web developer to do that. And I say, if it is in your business budget to do so, of course, by all means, you want to do that. But, websites are so easy to create these days, and it's going to get easier and easier. So in the beginning, if your business is quite simple, you can get away with some things. And so having a good eye and knowing some basics like, being able to source high-res photography and that kind of thing, being able to write my own content and all of that, I did. I sat down one night for 10 hours and just whipped out the beginnings of a website, which is now theadsagency.co, which you're welcome to visit at any time. So as my dad says, save your money. Don't go crazy. buying all the promotional items in the world and spending a lot of money on rental spaces and co-work spaces and all of that. I say that knowing that I have to save money on that myself. So you have to be smart about what you choose to invest in, because you don't have a lot of money up front typically as a new little entrepreneur. So save your money, number 2. Number 3, this is an easy one and a golden one. It's classic. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Classic. And that's just a golden rule that bodes well in general with your vendors, should you have employees, with the people you contract with your clients. All of those are relationships that make business work, and so you need to treat people well, as best you can. And those things do come back around. So you treat people well, it comes back around in your favor. You don't treat people well, that also comes back around to bite you later. It will. It's karma, it's life, it's the universe, you know that. So do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a golden rule. Number 4, do the job right. Do the job right, and also train others to do it just as well. So when you do have the opportunity to bring on employees and that kind of thing, not only do you know how to do a job with great quality, but you also have to teach others to do the same with the same level of quality and respect that you would approach a task, a project, whatever it may be. You have to instill that within whoever is helping you as well, just to make sure that that level of quality and service is exactly what you expect for your customers, and it is delivered consistently all the time. So the quick story behind that is among many, but this is when we were much smaller and we were vacuuming a room, that was a new chore at the time, was learning to vacuum, which it seems simple, right? However, we must have been doing it not quite to his standards, and so he took the vacuum from us and then proceeded to thoroughly vacuum the living room. And when I say thoroughly, this is a 6'4" man, well over 200-ish pounds heavier side of that. And he was just moving all the furniture around and vacuuming everything, vacuuming under the sofa area and underneath where coffee tables were and end tables and all of that, and just making sure all the dust was up and things were cleared out, toys and whatever that came under the couch and pennies were picked up first, all of that, just to show us, this is how the job is done. You do it like this. And so of course that's the deep clean version. You don't do that every time. However, once you know how to do a job great, you can judge for yourself, when a deep clean is warranted versus a light, regular, daily kind of or weekly clean, whatever. So do the job right, train others to do it well. Also, number 5 is to be dependable. Be dependable. So that seems like a simple one. Growing up, my dad, and still now, he is such the rock for so many of us, not just his kids. He has 4 girls. I'm daughter number 2. But also, for his grandkids, for his students, for his church members. He's just such a very dependable person, and when he says something's getting done, it will get done, and he will make sure his people are looked after without fail. And so that kind of dependability is such a rock solid part of his character, and I think that's a good thing to remember for most businesses, is learning to be dependable, learning to be that rock solid person and company that clients can come to trust, vendors can come to trust, and otherwise can depend on. So be dependable. Number 6, communication is everything. Everything. And do not kill me, Dad, but yeah. Growing up, we did not see our parents really fight over anything. If anything, they had just this, little disagreements here and there, or you could tell when they were like slightly at odds at each other, or they might murmur at each other under their breath or something, if they were irritated about something. However, in those moments, one of the things my dad would say, and he would say it today, is, if he and my mom were disagreeing about something or at odds about something, he might say, communication is everything. Communication, communication, communication. Your mother doesn't communicate. It's true. He would say that all the time. So if the majority of our problems can be chalked up to a lack of communication, that would mean that in business as well, so many things can be made or broken via communication. True. So that's so big for relationships in business. The ability to communicate clearly, concisely, succinctly, all those things are so huge in business. Communication is key. Number 7, and we're getting close to the end now. Remember who you are and whose you are. So growing up, we did grow up in a Christian faith, and we were taught that there's a higher power, bigger than us, that moves this earth, that is responsible for us being up, waking up in the morning and going to bed at night, and it looks over all of our interactions and our going-ons during the day, all of those things. So remembering that you are a child of God, if you have that kind of faith, or otherwise whoever you believe in, you're a child of God. You're a part of something bigger than yourself. And remembering that, but also remembering whose you are in terms of your family, where you come from, the stock of people that you come from, the expectations that they have of you, knowing that people paved the way for you to live as you do now and have the dreams that you have now, living up to those dreams of those who came before you is huge. So remembering who and whose you are is so big in business, because you can have a lot of holes poked in you. There is so much opportunity for negativity, for self-doubt, for insecurities in the business world. When you step out as an entrepreneur, it's a whole different ball game from working for an employer. And so remembering those things is big for you, which leads me to number 8, which I love the most. And that is to believe in yourself. So when I was little, my dad, I will never forget this. I had to be maybe in middle school or something. And I don't know what inspired him to do this or whatever, but he pulled me to the side in the laundry room, seemingly out of nowhere, and told me very distinctly, you are going to be something very special one day. And you're going to do something very special one day. And I totally believed him when he said that. I totally, completely believed that. And so that stuck with me and carries with me. With whatever career profession I find myself in or pivoting in whatever direction, I always know that I'm gonna do something special and be something special, and I am. And it's always because I believe that, because he told me that. And so I say that to you as entrepreneurs, that you have to remember to believe in yourself, because again, this is a hard journey. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint at heart. And if you can't believe in yourself, there's no way in the world anybody else will. So it starts with believing right here, believing that you have everything it takes right now to do this job, to do this work, to create this business, to make it run. Believing that even in the face of such great opposition, even in the face of a lot of naysayers or things that will make you doubt yourself, second guess everything and all of that, if you can center yourself back to that level of confidence and say to yourself, you can do this, you have absolutely everything in your power right now to do this, be this, whatever this dream is, you're already perfectly created as you are. You're already ready. You have to know that for yourself. There are so many great stories I could tell you about this, but just know that there are people who are nowhere near as smart as you, who are millionaires right now, and they've got fantastic businesses built up from nothing. And that is not an anomaly, it's very possible. So you have to always keep that with you. You have to always carry that belief in you, because what happens here and what happens here sincerely determines so much of what's possible and what we can achieve. So those are my lessons I learned from my dad. I hope it helps you in some way, and otherwise, Dad, happy Father's Day. You are so loved. Mwah. From your daughter number 2. Hope you enjoyed this. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. This is the ADS Agency YouTube channel. We're also on iTunes, on podcasts. And you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn with the ADS Agency. Okay, that's THEADS Agency. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.